Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into a masterclass explainer on the marketing mix, specifically zeroing in on product. Think of me as your expert examiner today, guiding you through the exact technical rigor you need to lock down those top-tier grades. We're going to break down the core theories, but more importantly, we'll look at how to apply them synoptically to really elevate your exam responses. Here's our roadmap to bridge that gap between basic theory and level 5 exam application. We'll cover product lifecycle dynamics, strategic extension strategies, the Boston Matrix, new product development, and finally, mastering sophisticated concepts. Let's get right into it. Section 1, Product Lifecycle Dynamics. Okay, so the product lifecycle. We start with development and introduction, ride the wave through growth, hit maturity, and eventually, face decline. But look, top-tier students, you don't just memorize these 5 stages. You analyze how they impact the entire interconnected business. Like, think about the heavy cash you're burning during development. That's a huge deal for financial planning. Or how you have to scale up production super fast during the growth phase, which falls right on the shoulders of operations and HR. Section 2, Strategic Extension Strategies. So what happens when a product hits maturity and stares down the barrel of decline? Well, you don't just give up. You use extension strategies to inject new life and revenue into it. When sales flatten out, a business has to choose, let it fade or intervene. Maybe you run a massive advertising campaign, completely rebrand the whole thing, slash prices, or tweak the actual physical features to kickstart a new growth phase. But remember, as an examiner, I am looking for you to strategically weigh the costs of these tactics against the actual revenue they're going to bring in. All right, time for our first active learning pause. Pause the explainer now and complete task 1. I want you to flex those AO3 analysis skills. Logically connect the act of rebranding directly to a resurgence in market growth. Really build out that chain of reasoning. How exactly does a fresh brand image alter consumer perception, drive demand, and ultimately bump up sales volume? Section 3, Boston Matrix Portfolio Analysis. Now we're zooming out from a single product to look at the entire portfolio using the Boston Matrix. You've got market share plotted against market growth, giving us stars, question marks, cash cows, and dogs. The real analytical magic here? It's understanding how these quadrants interact for resource allocation. Basically, you rely on the stable, massive cash flow from your cash cows in low-growth markets, and you use that cash to fund your question marks in high-growth markets. The ultimate goal is to turn those question marks into shining stars, which will eventually mature into tomorrow's cash cows. It's the circle of business life. Let's put this into practice. Pause the explainer now and complete task 2. Apply your AO2 application skills to balance investment in a really high-stakes tech scenario. Think carefully about the risks of neglecting a flagship star versus the serious financial drain of propping up multiple question marks. Section 4, New Product Development. Those question marks we just talked about, they usually start right here, bringing actual innovation to market through new product development, or NPD. Take a look at this AQA sample mark scheme. It uses a tech giant like Apple to emphasize that NPD is just inherently tough. It is wildly expensive and takes absolutely forever. But it is crucial for survival in dynamic markets. Think about it. The iPhone has a beautifully long maturity phase, sure, but every product declines eventually. Without a strong pipeline of fresh products, a firm is basically guaranteeing it'll lose its competitive edge. And this sets up a classic strategic trade-off that examiners absolutely love testing. You are weighing the massive financial risks, the high costs, and the long time to market of true innovation against the cozy safety of just milking your existing cash cows. Sure, the cash cow gives you short-term liquidity and stability, but if you rely on it too heavily, you're doomed to long-term stagnation. True business strategy is all about balancing those two opposing forces perfectly. Time for your final active task. Let's see those critical AO4 evaluation skills in action. Pause the explainer now and complete task 3. You need to make a solid, supported judgment on this exact strategic trade-off, but specifically within a fast-moving consumer goods market. Pro tip, starting your answer with "it depends on" is usually a fantastic way to build a top-tier evaluative point. Section 5, Mastering Sophisticated Concepts. Finally, we've reached the mastery phase, integrating these models for top-tier exam performance. To unlock level 5 responses, you really need to grasp a specific marking term, sophisticated concepts. These are frameworks, literally exactly like the product lifecycle and the Boston Matrix we just went over, that you deliberately bring into your answer to deepen your analysis.
even if the prompt didn't explicitly ask for them. The catch, though, is you can't just forcefully shoehorn them in where they don't make sense.
Check out this direct guidance from the examiners. This is absolute gold. It explicitly demands synoptic linking. What does that mean? Well, if you're writing about the marketing need for new product development to replace a dying cash cow, a level 5 response is going to seamlessly connect that marketing decision straight to the financial realities of investment appraisal and cash flow forecasting. It is about proving you see the business as one giant interconnected machine. Your main goal as an A-level candidate is to build logical, multi-step chains of reasoning. Do not just say, an extension strategy increases sales. Tell me exactly how. Explain how rebranding alters perceived value, which allows for a higher price point, which then drives up profit margins, assuming operations can keep those unit costs stable. See the difference? That demonstrates a comprehensive understanding of how a product's lifecycle stage dictates its entire strategic playbook. So, I'll leave you with this final evaluative thought to chew on as you keep revising. When that massive cash cow finally starts to dry up, where exactly should the strategic priority lie? Does survival depend more on a flawless, low-cost extension strategy, or rolling the dice on the high-risk, high-reward launch of an entirely new question mark? Consider the balance of risk versus reward, and think about how external economic factors or the firm's own financial gearing might tip the scales. Master these specific trade-offs, and you will absolutely master the exam. Keep studying, keep analyzing, and good luck with the rest of your revision.